Hello, dear viewer. Well, it's summertime, and every year around this time, for some odd reason, drama season kicks in. So, last year, as everyone knows, I laughed it up as I watched rival team River Plate get relegated to the Argentine B-League. This year, my own beloved team is 2 games away from relegation themselves after a humiliating defeat today. It's pretty disheartening, and yes, now I'm on the receiving end of the jeers as a die-hard San Lorenzo fanatic. Oh, and speaking of disheartening... So while I was away taking care of my family for a few weeks while my wife lay in the hospital, guess what happened? Bat Dan, the infamous jerk whose life revolves around 2 things, irate gamers' entire existence, and shoveling dirt on my name in any underhanded way he possibly can, decided to, surprise, surprise, shovel dirt on my name in any underhanded way he possibly could. You'd think that last year's public apology for lying about, the death threats thing would have calmed his vitriol a little. Nope.
Oh yeah, and this time, he decided to take a poke at my family and my cleanliness.
What really makes me sad, though, is that apparently he has a daughter who's probably learning his behavior from him, so she's gonna grow up to be a horrible person, too. The cycle of hatred continues. A sad state of affairs. Oh yes, I know some people legitimately worried for his children. His house is filthy and he curses in front of them all the time.
Very messy home. Look at that. Very classy move there, Batty. Bravo. I'm starting to realize that any rumor you hear on the internet that paints me in a negative light is always 100% automatically true in your eyes. There's just no defending me, is there? Well, I've said this once and I'll say it again. You are a liar. You are the scum of the earth, and you are one of the biggest douchebags on the internet. Grow a soul, you meme-regurgitating piece of jerk, you. As bad as I've gotten in my commentaries of the denizens of the internet, I'm sure you can give me credit for one thing, dear viewer. I have never once involved the families of any of the people I've ever commented on online. Frankly, I find it in poor taste, and it has nothing to do with the subject at hand, and it contributes nothing to an argument. So, why do people do it? And for that matter, why do you have a readership, you piece of jerk, you? Why do people like your stuff? I don't get it. You have one subject, and it's the most lame, redundant thing ever. This is the problem with the internet community, the commentary community at large, is that they tend to attack the person and not the problem. And Bat Dan is one of the worst offenders of this.
Oh, but it gets better. The guy who originally supplied Bat Dan with one of the many falsehoods about my person that are currently roaming the web, namely Hardcore Kid, who claimed that I'd sent him death threats in an attempt to curry favor and sympathy with the internet at large, he decided to make money by attempting to take me down again. Want to take a look at the state of commentaries online today? Get comfortable.
So, who do we have headlining the great takedown of internet nobody, Asalieri? Surely the greatest riffers in the land have all decided to finally come together to sock it to that jerk who dares question the fishy tactics employed by the internet reviewing community at large, right? Right? What the hell is that?
Greetings, I am the cartoon hero, because with great nostalgia comes great responsibility.
What the... I'm hard-pressed to find a more ridiculous way to appear on camera. I've appeared shirtless on camera and wearing a friggin' ladder, and I've managed to look more dignified than you. A towel as a cape? Captain Underpants is gonna riff on me? Really?
I suppose I should counter with something as equally ridiculous. I am Fat Loser Man,
with my shield of justice and my dice bag of killing. I'm gonna throw my D20 at the losers online. Yeah, fat loser man, shield of justice.
Greetings, salutations, and chlamydia to everyone watching.
A little child whose balls haven't dropped yet? What? Movie Bob? No, he looks like Movie Bob, but Movie Bob, to his credit, can actually enunciate and complete a thought without awkward pauses. And he has a better camera. It can't be him.
I'm here, I'm weird, and for those who may despise me, you better get used to it.
You're here, you're queer, and we'd better get used to making fun of you? Well, you're not exactly the pinnacle of self-confidence there, I see. Is this for real?
And finally, from the deep, dark part of South Carolina, a guy who's an expert on riffing bad video game reviews with his I Can't Believe It's Not AVGN series, making his first ever on-screen appearance,
DLAbaoaqu? Wow, he finally had the balls to appear on camera. I can see now why he wouldn't before. I mean, he has George Wood jowls and a horrible-looking toupee that looks like he carved it out of one of his house pets. And he's wearing tacky shades. Bravo! I mean, if I thought Irate Gamer gave me material for years, your stupid-looking rug alone gives me a lifetime of jokes. Oh, and speaking of tacky shades, this, apparently, is a hardcore kid. As you can see, everything in this image screams, poser! This kid is 19 years old. None of what's on his wall is from his time. Well, maybe this thing, I don't know, I can't make out what it is. But Akira, 1988. Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984. Yeah, I get the feeling he just wants to belong so bad. But he's just such an insufferable fake twat that a lot of people tire of him in seconds. Look at that tacky leather jacket. What's he trying to say? That he's a badass? Pleather and shades do not a badass make, snot-nose. Listen, muscle up or hit the books. Do something worthwhile with your life. Then we'll see a badass. Right now I only see a poser wannabe who thinks the internet is the key to riches. Yeah, just make videos and collect the fame and fortune. Yeah, this guy makes ad revenue on Blip for the miserable excuse of a commentary you're about to hear. Folks, this guy is a dime a dozen. If you can point out one special thing about him, just one, and being an attention-whoring liar doesn't count, then you are a saint.
Look, I'm nothing special myself, but you know what I don't do? I don't bullshit my audience. What you see is what you get. I'm fat. I tell it as I see it. I see no reason to act as someone I'm not. I'm a hothead, yes, but I am capable of reasoning when approached diplomatically.
And you know what? I realize my videos aren't for everyone, so I've actually tried to diversify my channel a bit and not stick to one topic like I have in the past. Unlike the whole of the commentary community, I've at least attempted to evolve. Also, I've not made 1 penny on my videos, nor do I expect to be famous or a millionaire from what I do. Apparently this translates to, well, he must certainly be jealous of everyone who does. No. Other people's success has no bearing on my own. I merely talk about a plethora of topics on my channel for my viewers. That's it. Why, oh, why is this such a crime to you zealots?
Anyhow, there's good ways to deal with criticism, and there's bad ways. This is a good way. This is Movie Bob.
Now, as you can see, Movie Bob is here responding to a query on what he thought of my video on him. The guy is not bothered. He takes a non-personal, humorous jab at me, and it's over. Learn, L-Team. This is how to do it the right way. Now let's take a look at you guys.
Look for Mr. Good Boy. Get your mojo working now. I'll show you how. You can dare to be stupid.
Number 7 is a tie between 2 internet reviewers, Asalieri and Jay Friedan.
You know, I would love to hear what Jay Friedan has to say about this, considering A, you are using his image
to make ad revenue without his express permission to do so, something I know he takes issue with, and I'm sure you do too. And B, you openly call him a douchebag at minute 9:22.
As for Jay Friedan, yeah, he's a douchebag.
Yeah, you tell me to stay classy?
Keep it classy, Asa.
Yeah, you guys combined have about as much class as a guy taking a dump on Old Glory. You guys have no position on which to stand on. You openly insult people without provocation and for no joking purpose.
Asa, you seem to have missed a tiny key word in that statement. Estimated. As in, not the final figure. You moron.
And you make blanket statements based purely on conjecture. Kettle, black, you know the saying.
Asa, I don't want to dislike you.
Oh, is that why you called me a moron? Pretty dishonest there, buddy. Now, notice how this guy reads from his screen. Look at his eyes, look how they move. He doesn't have the key abilities you need to make videos where you appear on screen. That is, either the ability to say things on the fly, or the ability to memorize a script. This guy is so friggin' lazy, he just types it all out and reads it all back to you. How is this entertaining? You have all the charisma of, well, a lame nerd wearing a blanket around his neck and trying to sound smarter than you really are. That is to say, none at all. If you guys are gonna monetize this shit, you should at least have the respect for your audience to at least attempt to give a crap about your presentation. So, what did he actually say in his little rant?
To be sure, you may have started off doing pretty much the exact same thing DLA does, riffing on bad reviews. I can respect that. However, even then, there always seemed to be this air you had in your videos. The attitude that underneath it all you were thinking, I'm better than you are, and I know it. In a comedy video, this can work. But that attitude does not change with all of the other videos you've made since then. It's not just that you're picking on critics that I like and respect. Hell, even I've made fun of the nostalgia critic. But your arrogance has only gotten worse with time. More often than not, I get the feeling that you're not even faking this for the sake of comedy. What vendetta do you have against people who make videos on the internet? It seems a tad hypocritical that essentially you're doing the same thing they are by reviewing them. This seems especially true of the people on That Guy with the Glasses and the AVGN, who you keep trying to dig up dirt on despite most of what you're saying being based on pure conjecture. And the AVGN movie drama has only added more fuel to your fire.
So to summarize, this guy thinks that I am arrogant and that I somehow have a vendetta against thatguywiththeglasses.com and AVGN. I don't. In fact, as you saw earlier, I haven't made a video on thatguywiththeglasses.com in over a year. A year, folks!
The entirety of the Asalieri 2 channel has in total one video on Linkara, and it wasn't even made by me! That disproves the notion that I somehow have something against them. Hell, I was so sick of the accusations made against me by their fanboys that I made a New Year's resolution to stay the hell away from that website. I broke it when someone linked me to that vitriolic comment made on the site by Batdan, but I haven't made videos about them in over a year, and I intend to keep it that way, because I know their fans are insanely defensive and unreasonable. Their responses to Sam's video should clue you into this fact. Yeah, everyone who has an audience on the internet has crazy fans. Sure, but the sheer numbers on that website make it so that there are also, in turn, more crazy fans per capita than anyone else.
When rumors began flying around that James Rolfe was scamming people out of their money in order to make a film, Asa would throw his lot in with the drama.
No, I made one single solitary video where I told people I believed that AVGN's insane budget of $425,000 pulled straight from his fans, an outrageous sum as it is, no matter how you slice it, plus ad revenue from a number of years, plus endorsements from other websites from a number of years, plus sales of his DVDs, plus sales of his plushies, plus sales of his t-shirts, plus all donation drives made before the donation drive and after the donation drive, all bunched up together, were not going to be reflected in the final product. That was all I was telling people. Now, the problem is his legion of crazies, of course, his reactionary crazies, came and attacked me for having this opinion, because how dare I question the fact that he made unreasonable donation drive after unreasonable donation drive? Of course, this is unheard of, right? In short, the problem I have is that his fans never cede an inch. They are very unreasonable, very vitriolic, and they just disgust me, period.
AVGN's fanbase as a whole seems to practice hatred in the extreme as of late. Once the fandom starts treating those with opposing opinions with respect and tolerance, they can expect the same in return. In the meantime, keep hating on Chris Bors for doing the exact same things your idols do. That certainly shows how reasonable and fair you guys are.
I ain't buying it, and with good reason. First off, IMDb is basically the Wikipedia of movies. If something is even rumored, it gets a page. Secondly, did you even look past the budget portion? The page lists Will Ferrell as the executive producer. Yes, Will Ferrell. How'd James get him with $300,000?
My God, that video was made in early April. It is now early June, and you guys are still bitching about that video. How's that for being behind on the times, folks? Anyhow, what you're complaining about right now was already addressed in the actual comment section of that video. But to sum up, that budget was posted by AVGN's camp. They never publicly denied that budget. They publicly denied the Will Ferrell thing, however. And yeah, I still believe he's not going to use every penny that he took in towards making that movie. No, you shouldn't care that I don't believe he's going to use every penny towards that movie. Frankly, it's my opinion. You should have yours. And yes, I still believe that AVGN's fanboys are, for my money, some of the worst people I've ever had the displeasure of having to deal with because of their vitriolic hatred towards anybody who doesn't agree with them. And yes, I'm still going to watch the movie and record a reaction to it. Those of you who hate me should probably not watch it. That will make the internet a better place, don't you believe?
And let's not get started on that piss-poor parody you made of Kick-Assia. I actually like that special, but I can admit that it has its flaws.
Oh, you can? Is that why you're fervently attacking people who don't think it was all that great?
Isn't the whole point of parodying something to show that you can do it better than they can while making fun of it?
No, the point of parody is to just take something and make fun of it. That's it.
And halfway through the video, you just jump into a random review? The review may have been okay, but why the fuck is this here?
I thought you said you weren't going to get started on our piss-poor video. Had second thoughts? Yes, we thought it would be interesting to stick a review in there for fun, as an ironic thing. You know, we decided to make the review as non-silly as possible as a stark contrast to how, quote-unquote, stupid our two main characters happen to be. That is to say that these two dunderheads were dumb, but put together they inexplicably review something decently. Glad you were only paying attention to the title of our video and not what was actually going on in the video.
And it really shows that your movie has credibility when not only the Game Dude, but Helsing 920 appear in it. Keep it classy, Asa.
Huh. I thought Game Dude being in my video after us being at each other's throats on YouTube for so long was a testament to how easy it is to actually get along with me. And I don't see how credibility factors into a 12-minute film about two guys being silly on camera. How do you figure credibility even matters here? We're not trying to make anybody believe anything. Congratulations, you missed the point entirely.
Oh, and speaking of fanboys...
We weren't speaking of fanboys just now, but okay, interrupt away, poser kid.
An impartial way possible. His fanboys are batshit insane.
Whoa, dude, if you're gonna make a point, stop the darn thing so we can read clear examples that support your claim.
Randomly scrolling through comments does not automatically prove your point. Again, you guys are lazy as hell and you don't put any effort into your arguments or your videos for that matter. This is why I have zero respect for you.
If this is the kind of people you're influencing, that doesn't make you a good reviewer. It makes you an asshole.
So my viewers are what makes me an asshole? Well then by that logic, that guy with the glasses, AVGN, and indeed anybody with any amount of fans is also an asshole. You see how this makes no sense? It seems like you're using this as an excuse to just lob cheap insults at me. So far, you guys together have yet to do anything but complain about my existence rather than actually riff on or make jokes about me, which would have been easier to sit through and more fun to watch. Y'all are just mad as hell that I make videos you dislike, and you want the world to know. That's all I'm getting from this.
Asalieri does seem like an intelligent bloke, but he's the type of guy who gains enemies fast because he tells it like it is.
Yeah, that's the long and short of it. And ostensibly, that's how I ended up on your video.
Since then, he's a sworn enemy of those behind that guy with the glasses, Reuptopia, the irate gamer, the angry video game nerd, and many internet reviewers in general. It appears that the guy has a hint of jealousy over the fact that he got rejected for being too much of a dick.
There's that jealousy argument again. Who rejected me, dude? Reuptopia? I mean... Why don't you substantiate your argument? Do your homework, guys. I'm a video maker, although a humble one. I have a very limited but appreciative audience. I do this thing for fun, as a hobby pretty much. I don't expect greatness, and I don't expect to make millions of dollars on my channel. I don't expect to be famous or anything. I don't believe I'm better than anyone. I just make videos for fun and give my opinion out there to the 3 or 4 dudes who'll listen to me. Does this automatically make me jealous of people who get handed $500,000 for saying shit and fuck a lot? No. I mean, are you jealous of the fact that I have more viewers than you do? Of course not. It's a ridiculous cop-out argument that lazy people use to not have to think.
My problem with Asalieri is not that he dislikes what I like. My problem is his attitude and the execution of how he makes fun of it. Again, I know several people who like his videos, and that's perfectly fine. But as for me, I can't stomach them.
And you show as your example my parody of the food reviewer. So what you're saying is that you don't like my ridiculous, exaggerated parodies of some people, so therefore I must be an asshole, and I must think I'm better than other people as a result? Why don't you practice the tolerance you demand from me? I mean, I've been pretty tame. I'd hate to see what you think of some people who really do hate online. Anyhow, that's all these guys had to say about me. Sorry about the length of this video, dear viewer. Usually I keep it to around 10 minutes or so. This time I guess I had a lot to say. Well, I'm going to get back to my emulators. Thank you. God bless you, Rambo Tweety, for giving me a controller with which to play these old emulators and relive my favorites. You're a godsend. Till next time, dear viewer. You're probably wondering what I'm going to play. Probably Brigandine or something like that.